Good evening, everyone. Sarah, the Nurturing Coach here. I hope you are all well. Today, I'm asking the question, are you dating a stalker? And that might seem like a really strange question because surely if they're just a stalker, you wouldn't date them. Well, actually, the characteristics of a stalker are found in people who suffer with both narcissism and something called Obsessive Ex Syndrome. Now, you probably not heard of this, but you'll have read stories of people with this. Usually, people who have gone on to kill or maim someone they used to go out with, someone that they may have been married to, someone who they dated and had even a short relationship with. They can't let go of that relationship, and they end up either killing or causing physical harm. There's been acid attacks, they've tried stabbing them, and so it is a very serious condition that people suffer from and probably don't recognize. But I want to share with you some of the warning signs so that if you are in a relationship with someone who displays some of these signs, then well, you at least you know, and you can think about getting the support that you need because it is scary. So be warned that if you do recognize these signs, do seek help. Feel free to contact me. I know of some support that is out there, and I can certainly advise you of what your best course of action is. But I just want to talk you through the stages of that. So I said, are you dating a stalker? So let's look. That's stage one. Stage one is where you're dating someone, and actually, right now, you probably think that there's no way they're a stalker. They're wonderful. In fact, they're perfect. Because what narcissists, what obsessive X syndrome sufferers have is this amazing ability to be able to identify exactly what you need and then become that person. They are like a chameleon. So maybe you're someone who's had a terrible relationship with your mum or your dad. And this person comes into your life and they kind of take on that role of a mother or father figure. They seem to be very caring. They seem to sort of take you under their wing. And because you need that, you've craved that all your life, you've not been given that from your parents. You think that this person is wonderful. You let them in, you share all your deepest and darkest secrets, and you fall in love with them, probably quite quickly because they seemingly are perfect. And that's stage one. Some of the warning signs are, like I said, that they do seem too perfect because not everyone is perfect. We all have our faults. We all make mistakes. We all can be a little bit annoying. We don't always agree with everything that you say. And we won't always understand what you're saying. If you're telling us something that we have no experience of, then we might find that difficult. So someone who's overly understanding, overly perfect, I think is the best way that I can put that. The other things are that they will really latch themselves onto you. They will do everything they can to make you the center of their world. They will start telling everyone straight away that you're in a relationship. They may tell you that they love you really, really quickly, which you probably have found very flattering. But actually, in reality, we don't tell people we love them that quickly. Even if we start to have those feelings, we're naturally quite reserved. So we hold it back for quite a while until we get the feeling that they feel the same way. And then we say, but people, stalkers, the obsessive ex syndrome narcissists, they say it because it's a hook. They say it because it's what you need to hear, what they think you need to hear. And it's a way of basically casting a spell and making you under their control, because these are the things that you've been longing for. You've been longing for someone to love you like this. And it's very flattering when someone tells you that. You think, oh, wow, me? You love me that quickly? God, I must be amazing. But actually, this isn't saying you're not amazing. You could well be amazing, but it's not natural or normal. So it's a warning sign for you. Other things are straight away putting on social media that you're in a relationship, and just making marriage proposals, talking about wanting to marry you, have babies with you, all really quickly. And I'm talking about within the first weeks, the first months of getting to know someone, that they're talking about these things. So that's the dating stage. The next stage is that you're actually in a long-term relationship with them. You've gone through all that, and this is where they actually start to reveal their true selves, because actually naturally in relationships what happens at this point is two people will sort of like flex their relationship muscles, and they'll relax a little bit more, and you'll get comfortable. So you might reveal that you've got a certain way of doing things, that sort of thing. That's perfectly natural and normal. That's a healthy relationship. But what happens in these situations is that a narcissist, I'm going to call them narcissists from now on, but basically the narcissist, the obsessive ex, the stalker, it's all under the same umbrella. What happens then is that you get no control. They will decide everything. Every little thing that needs deciding, they will choose it. So if it's where you're going to live, then they will decide where. If you decide you're going to rent a flat, even if you don't like it, if they will be desperate to get you to live with them, so they will say, oh no, let's go for it, we'll make it lovely, it'll be fantastic. They will want control over your finances. They may suggest getting a joint bank account really quickly. They may suggest that they look after the money for you. All these sort of things where they start then having a go at you about your spending, perhaps saying, what are you doing buying that? What are you doing talking to them? All of these sorts of things. If you're friends on, so if they have access to your social media, will probably start saying, well, why are you friends with that person? Why did you like that person's photo? And it's introducing that control so that you don't do anything that would jeopardize the relationship. Apologies, phone's ringing. And they will do pretty much anything at this point to keep control over you. And you might think, oh, okay, all right, or maybe your self-esteem is quite damaged, so you just go along with it and you accept these things. I don't know. But stage 3 is the breaking up part. And this is when you decide, you know what, actually, I'm sick of them controlling me. I'm sick of not being able to make any decisions. This relationship is not making me happy anymore. And you try to break up with them. And this is the point where they fall apart a little bit, because what they've done is their entire identity has become attached to you. So being with you is who they are. So they might say to people, oh, I'm so-and-so's partner, or I'm so-and-so's wife. Whether or not you're married, they can still say that. Rather than saying, I'm Sarah, they will say, I'm so-and-so's partner. Their identity becomes locked in with yours. Like I say, at the start, you may think that's quite flattering, but actually, it's a warning sign, because we all want to be seen as individuals. And when people are saying that, it's because they don't see themselves as an individual, they see themselves as you. So when that breaks, they lose their identity. So when you try and break up with them, they're going to try and keep hold of that, because ultimately that's who they are. It may be that you have already got children, or they may use the breakup to try and get pregnant, or to rape you, or to make sure that there's something, because once you have a child with someone, you are forever linked to that person. And ultimately, this is what they want. They want to be forever linked to you. And plus the fact, if you have children, they can then use these as part of their control. So if you do have children at this point in the breakup, then they may start making veiled threats about, if you leave, you won't see them, or some certain things might happen to them. They basically refuse to accept that it is over, because they haven't agreed that it is over. They think that maybe it's an argument. They think you can get back together. This is basically just going, no, we're not breaking up. Okay, so the next stage, and this is the menacing stage, and this is where they really start to get a little bit nasty. and they will start to make threats, and it could be towards you, it could be towards loved ones, it could be towards pets, it could be towards the children, it could be towards anyone. And it's basically saying, look, if you leave, if you don't come back to me, then these things are going to happen. And that's really scary, because if you've got to know them over this period of time, you probably think, well, actually, they might be quite capable of doing the things that they're saying they're going to do. You may think, oh God, I've got to stay because I don't want those things happening. So they may keep you in a relationship at this point. That may pull you back because you're scared of the consequences, which obviously is what they want. They want you to feel that fear and go back to them. It's all about regaining that control over you. And obviously, if you do go back, that control gets even worse because they know they've won. In their eyes, they've achieved their goal, and they think you're weak because you've gone back. But that's what they will do. They will threaten. And so the next stage is, I've got them wrong. Sorry, stage 4 is actually stalking. And this is when we've broken up, but they refuse to, no contact. They're constantly trying to get hold of you. They're constantly trying to get back into your life in some way. You may find that you see them at the end of your street, or just see that they're in places. They may imply that, oh, I didn't know you went to that restaurant. It's like, I'm watching you. And that's what they're doing. They're basically going, I know exactly where you are. I know what you're doing. I'm never going to let you go. And again, that adds that element of fear, because none of us want to be stalked. We don't want that. We don't want to have someone knowing our every move. We have a right to privacy. And so after that comes the menacing stage, which when they use intimidation and threats, and they may even become aggressive in terms of the things that they say. They may stop you if you happen to be near them. They may stop you from leaving or grab you or anything like that. The final stage of this is physical violence, and this can be anything from, like I say, grabbing you to stop you from doing something to killing. People do kill. People who have this condition, who are narcissists and abusers, they do kill, because it's the only way they can regain control. And ultimately, to sum it all up, what happens is when you meet someone like this, like I say, they attach their own identity to yours. So in their eyes, you and them are one and the same. Without you, they are no one. So they cannot let go of that, because they don't want to be no one. They want to be someone. They want people to respect them. They want people to think that they're successful. And being with you makes them feel all of those things. So when you try to break that off, that changes their view of themselves. And they're terrified that everyone in the outside world is going to think that they are someone, or they're going to see the real them. And they will do anything to stop that from happening. The only way to stop that from happening is to keep that connection. And they will do whatever they can to keep that connection. If that doesn't work, if you refuse to go back into that connection, they will basically lose the plot, because they've lost control. They do not want to reveal to the outside world who they really are without you. They do not want anyone to know that this is broke, that this connection is no longer working, and they will do anything, including kill, to stop that from getting out. Which seems perverse. It seems crazy, because ultimately, if they commit that crime, everyone's going to think a whole lot worse of them. But the way their mind works is that they have to have control. They have to be in control of you. And so killing you is the ultimate act of control, isn't it? Killing someone you love is an ultimate act of control. And that's what it's all about. So like I say, if you do find that you've recognized any of those stages in your own relationship, if you are feeling like that's me, I'm in that relationship, or even if you recognize yourself in any of those behaviors, do reach out and get help. There are support services out there, and it does help to talk. And like I say, if you do need any help with anything, please do get in touch. I would like to help. But take care, everyone. I really hope that you found that useful, and stay safe. Bye.